everybody, welcome to TADTalk. Once again, it's episode 95. We're creeping on that number 100, and it's Thursday here in Phoenix. I'm joined by the Jacket Man over here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Looking forward to this one today.
Yes.
It's great.
Absolutely.
There's a little story about this one, too. Much of the reason why TADTalk got started was because of our guest. But if you need to know a little bit more about our guest, just check out this opening video.
So I lost all this money, and then I sold my car, and, oh yeah, Avis was pissed. Old people, can I talk about that? Please, they know what it's about. You're a vibrant, lovely couple. You're a vibrant and lovely couple! And what do you do? Okay, great. I understand. What do you do? Do you work? Thank you. That's what I thought. That's good. Are you with this girl over here?
She's my sister.
Oh, so... But you did not answer my question, really. Too single in this room. Yeah, but you raised it fast. You're a little needy. Anyone else?
I'm a nurse.
At a hospital or private practice or
Retirement home.
I can't believe you're even smelling this good. I am fed up with you people in the back. I really am. I don't need you people. I don't care about you people.
Welder.
You're a welder. What do you do?
I work with dogs.
Who's a good welder? Who's a good welder? Why didn't you tell me before my fly was down? I don't know. I thought you were going to take out another puppet. Welcome to Sesame Street on acid. Oh, come on. All right. I'm going to kill you, John. Come on, don't say that. Crap. And honey, I got so much medication in me. My urine has street value. You take a horse steroid. Oh, yeah. How do you think I won 2 gold medals in the Kentucky Derby?
This guy is equally as funny off stage as he is on stage. Welcome to the show, our guest, Michael Paul.
I wish you would stop blaming your show on me.
Yeah, you're to blame. How are you?
I'm very well, just living in this new normal, but it's nice to see you. I must really like you because what I need is another video chat. That's what I need. I actually, what's so sad is I finally got one of those blue sheen glasses. So, for years I was on the road and, I was working off my laptop and I looked better than everybody else. I didn't have a 9-to-5 for 20 years. And everyone else my age that I went to school with, they all look like they, have been living in the desert or the woods for 40 years. And I look amazing. But I have a feeling that the next year, looking at a screen, sitting at my desk, I'm going to age very, very quickly.
Yeah, I've been going down the road of new glasses. I got these blue protectors where the glasses are actually yellow.
Why do you look? I should have gotten those.
They're good. They don't look good.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Yeah, there you go. So the burning question before we get into our opening random questions is, we were disappointed a few days ago to not see the ticket saying Biden and Como. What was the deal there? Why didn't she get selected?
Yes. I have not been in touch with the world's oldest gymnast since the COVID. I know that due to age, her handlers are kind of keeping her away from the public, and she's not very tech savvy. But there was, to my understanding, outreach to Nadia Como to be a running mate for Joe Biden, and I don't know what to say about it. I don't. As you saw on my social media, I don't know who's going to tell her. Someone had snapped some photos for some, audience testing they did when they were together. I don't want to be the one to tell her because, she's scary.
Yeah,
she'll make that face when she finds out.
That's her happy place right there. Whatever is happening there.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, we start TADTalk.
I will say she is going to the Olympics. They reset the date for the Olympics. Yeah. I know she's going to do that. They're making some specialty competition for her. Like, I think she's doing the standing up in the shower without falling down competition and take 50 pills at once without any water. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her thrive.
I'm going to watch that live. We start the show as always with 3 random Nick questions. Have you got them?
I do.
Let's see what we got.
All right. Question number 1. If you could time travel, what piece of modern technology would you bring back into the past to show people how far technology will come?
Oh, I really do. I'm a tech gadget guy. I was a tech before I was an actor. I do like technology. This sounds terrible. I would like to bring the Snuggie. Do you know what the Snuggie is?
Yes.
It is the blanket with sleeves. By the way, it's made in China, and I don't know why America is not number 1 anymore, because we're buying blankets with sleeves. So that's my answer.
The Snuggie. What would you take back?
I would bring, you know what? I would have to be the DeLorean, because without it, I wouldn't be able to get back in time anyway. So
Precisely.
You're such a nerd.
I would actually go back about 450 years, and I would take the thermos flask back.
Oh, yes, but what do you keep being hot and cold back then? And back then, kind of everything's hot, isn't it?
Well, what it would be, you see, you'd take the flask and you would explain that you put something cold in it, and it keeps it cold. And then you put something hot in it, and it keeps it hot. But the thing is, how does it know?
How does it know? It's the smart cup. I don't know.
It's the smart cup. So there you go. That's what I would take back.
I think that's what football players will be using in 10 years from now.
What?
Smart cups.
Smart cups.
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
That is amazing.
All right, question number 2. You've had a few drinks at a karaoke bar, and your friends force you to get up on stage and sing. Which song are you picking?
Well, anyone that knows me knows that I wish I had a voice that anyone would care to listen to. All my friends that are singers, just opening their mouth and being able to do that and create that sound is amazing. I would probably sing. I am not a fan of country really, but I do like the song "Be My Baby Tonight" because it's kind of rowdy, it's kind of raspy, and you can sound like you've been smoking for 20 years and still sound good when you sing it. So that's probably the song.
I like it. Like it.
What about you?
Me, I would sing the rap version of Nessun Dorma.
That sounds good, because when I think of rap, I think of you. You're from the streets, clearly.
All right.
I want to see. Wait, Terry. I really want to see with like a side hat and jewels and like one gold tooth.
Can you imagine? I'd be walking on like this.
I could imagine that. It would be sad and enjoyable.
Sad, enjoyable, and the last show.
Yeah, that's like the new comedy team. Please welcome Sad and Enjoyable. That's all I got.
Are you okay?
I am good.
Okay.
I'm just imagining that as coming on with the side hat, and I can't
It's
look
the guy.
past
It's
that.
the guy that doesn't know that he's not 19 anymore. Which we have a lot of that in Hollywood. Like we have a lot of, men who dress like they're 17 and they're 72. Just awful. They're still. I just did something with a 1970s very well-known game show host, and he's like 80 now, and he's still doing that mousy brown hair. He has like 3 hairs, and he's wearing like Keds and then a fanny pack. It's not
Oh, good. All right, question number 3. I didn't know the word, so I made one up. If you could ventriloquize one person on live TV for 5 minutes, who would it be, and what would you make them do and say?
Oh, ventriloquize. You're not the first person that's used that term. I kind of want to say the current president, but he's already using someone else's words and thoughts. So don't write letters. I'm not saying he's bad or good. I'm just saying it's not his word. I know everyone takes their turn, whether it's a Democratic or Republican president. Everyone kind of wants their turn to do some sort of impersonation. So I think as a public figure, that's always fun. Or maybe Dr. Fauci. He always comes across as very even-keeled. So, and a voice of experience. So maybe, oh wait, who I would like? Do you ever see the governor of New York, Cuomo?
Yeah.
So, he's very matter of fact. He seems like he should be like a mob boss or a WWE wrestler. And so I think in that position, it might be good to take over his person.
Take him over and put him in The Sopranos.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
like
right.
it.
Just pummel people and come out with a mask.
Well, as usual, it's superb having you on the show. This is your third time on the show. First time was one of our
And the last.
First time was one of those tests, and then the second time, of course, was with the puppets. But what I'd love to talk about, and being serious for just a second, you're one of the funniest guys, forget the puppets for a second, that we know, but you're also one of the nicest people that we know in showbiz, genuinely so. So I'd like to touch on why you're so nice.
Because secretly I've done a lot of bad things and I want to have karma points. I don't know. You know what I think it is? I think I know for me, I have a lot of personal angst. I genetically wring my hands a lot and worry. And I think that for the first 25 years of my career, I was on my own pretty young. And I think that for many, many years, I was in this survival mode, but not living mode. And it was a kind of a terrible way to live. But I also know that, there's a fine line between working with people and giving them structure and also not emotionally shutting them down where they feel less than and cannot continue to get the job done. I learned a long time ago that, everybody wants to be heard and everyone wants to feel special. Now, a lot of times you'll go into a theater and you tell the sound guy, okay, I need it like this. And they say, why? Because you're 12 and because I'm tired and I want to take a nap and because I said so. That's what I'd like to say. I really want to rip their face off, but you can't really do that.
Yeah.
So I think that, I think at a certain age, you just realize, it's one thing when you're creating your brand in the beginning and all that, but then sometimes for a lot of acts, especially acts that are not household names, everyone feels like they're going to be screwed or more importantly, set up to fail, and they don't want to be left holding the bag. So I find that the calmer I am and the nicer I am, the nicer everyone else is, and I only try to give it the power it's due. I also do not take on responsibility that is not my own, which has allowed me to be nicer. So when I go to a location and they are not setting me up for success, I'll say, I'm happy to do it that way. Here are the ramifications. I am not responsible for that. It's entirely up to you. I'm letting you know beforehand. And then I just go to the bar or go to my room. So I think that has helped me and my own personal anxiety to kind of be nicer and put it all in perspective. And also to be at an age where you can help other people without it taking food out of your mouth. There's something nice and karma-like about that.
No, I mean, and that's really, I guess, what I was referring to when I said nice was the unselfishness of working with you, whether it was be at the expo, when you were a part of hosting the show with us, or actually TADTalk at the beginning, or whatever it is. You are a very unselfish entertainer, and it comes across, and you're absolutely right. Whenever you can help anybody else in their career, when you've had the experience that you've had, it's a wonderful trait, and not many people mature into that kind of trait.
Yeah, I think you give what you get, and I'm even that way out in the world. Like, if there's the person with a name tag at the cash register, I talk to them, I use their name, and some friends of mine are like, "Why are you pulling them into your nonsense?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just, connecting with the people around me." So, as long as it's not but I also learned, like, for a long time, I would give more than I would get, and then I would feel resentful about that. So, it's to a point where you can help someone and be supportive and go a little bit outside your comfort zone when you'd rather just go take a nap or something like, or, relax for a bit. And it really does come back around to you. And people did it for me, so why not?
No, absolutely. When we come back after the break, we're going to ask Michael about a few things. We're also going to ask Nick to make up some new ventriloquistic words or something like that. We'll be back after the break. We'll see you then.
Life is a journey, and everybody's going somewhere. Why wait for the fun to start when you reach your destination? With TAD Travel, the fun starts the moment you leave your door, wherever you're going, and however you want to get there. We've got it covered. TAD Travel. We're going places. Are you coming with us?
And we're back with part 2 of TAD Talk with our special guest, Michael Paul. Hey, Michael, I've got a question. First of all, we've got a viewer question coming in, and they wanted to know if you are sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, I was just thinking that I should have picked a different cup. This is actually half of my wardrobe and dishware are swag from other programs I've done. So this was actually what was it? I think it was like MSN Good Morning, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. It's just such a big cup, like I need scuba gear. I apologize beforehand.
Well, let's talk about TAD Talk swag then. What we're going to do? You can have one of these. You can have. Well, you can have one of those pillows there.
With my notes behind it from yesterday.
Or you can have.
Can I think about it?
Yeah, or you can have this thing. If we can zoom in on that.
And.
Right. Oh.
Well,
nice.
There, that thing.
That's
There's
nice.
We've got more swag over here on Nick.
Let me see, Nick. What is it?
It's a coaster.
A coaster.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah.
In case I have company one day again in life. Those are nice. I love branding. Branding is one of my favorite things.
No, absolutely. That's an interesting topic as well with the cruise ships. How branding keeps going in and out of the entertainment on ships. They're in for 3 years. They're out for 3 years.
Which is ridiculous because 3 years is no time frame to solidify any type of a brand.
No.
It's kind of like today with TV shows. They don't let it breathe before they can find their place.
Yeah.
I think that they're always 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I think it's a problem for that industry.
Actually, let's talk TV shows. Here's a pet peeve of mine. So whenever you get, especially these days, you get into TV, you want to binge watch something. So everyone's on Facebook saying, hey, what's the next binge watch? One of my pet peeves is when they have 2 seasons and then it's gone. I want more. One of the great things I did recently was start rewatching The West Wing, which is 7 seasons.
It's my favorite show, by the way.
It really is. It's 7 seasons and it's 22 episodes a season.
Well, first of all, if you can't control yourself, that's on you and not the production company. But yeah, I feel I'm the same way. There's been a couple of shows that I've really gotten into, and with COVID and the pandemic and everything, I'm working at home so much, I need to get out of the house. So I actually bought a bicycle, but you can only do that outside, an outside bicycle. People always ask that. But also there's binge watching where you just need to sink into the couch. So yeah, same. I get into a show, I watch the whole thing over a weekend, I'm obsessed, and then it's over and you have to wait a whole year. It's terrible.
Yeah. What did we watch recently? We're still halfway through The West Wing. That'll take about 2 more years to watch. We also watched Fleabag. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, it's great.
Tremendous show.
Now, Nick, if you like sci-fi, are you watching the Umbrella Academy?
You know, I've seen it advertised on Netflix, and I have not. I haven't checked it out.
I know the marketing makes it seem like it's a kid's thing, but I think you might enjoy it. I love it.
Okay, I'll check it out. I just finished watching, and so did my dad. We just finished watching 11/22/63.
I don't know that one.
Oh yeah, check it out. It's another sci-fi time travel. James Franco goes back and tries to stop the assassination of JFK.
Oh, yeah, hilarious.
It's really good.
James Franco tries to go back in time before he gets a girl pregnant.
So aside from puppeteering and ventriloquism, we know that you are doing a lot of producing and directing and stuff. Now I think you work with the Golden Globes, or you have done in the past. Is there a side of that industry that you really love to do?
Well, I've always, before I was a performer, as far as getting paid for a job, I always had a production background, whether it be in television or stage, and I've always enjoyed it. I really have no great need to be on stage at all. And I think every performer should know about all sides of their industry. It just makes them, a better produced product. And if it's not something that interests you, make sure you find someone who can help you with that. I really enjoy live, whether it be live TV or live stage, and those types of technical or performance transitions to get the audience where you need them to be. Writing, I enjoy tweaking more than anything else, or looking at a script and making it a little more succinct. I really enjoy directing the talent. I've done a lot of one-person shows for singers and actors and tap dancers and things like that, Broadway, off-Broadway, Las Vegas, that sort of thing. And it's always an interesting jigsaw puzzle. I really do enjoy it, and the multimedia side as well.
Yeah.
It all gives me a different type of satisfaction.
Do you do a lot of the multimedia yourself? I'm a bit of a geek with it now. I'm forever on my laptop.
I find that I don't keep as up to date as far as how to physically do it myself. I am aware of the technology, but generally when you're directing or producing something, as you well know, your hands are in every department, and so I prefer to hire and work with people and partner with people that have their finger on the pulse, where I can say, okay, I needed to do this. I think good directing skills and producing skills is you give people 70% of the template and then let them flourish for the other 30, is that the right math? To do what they do best. But I try to be introduced to what's happening now, technology-wise and format-wise. And I do enjoy that tinkering,
Yeah, I've got a question for you actually, but it pertains to Michael. Obviously, as his father, and I've seen his career grow, and as we grow through this period, I find Nick getting more involved in some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. He's doing some video editing, some directing, some producing. But I've noticed when you work with somebody like Michael, for example, I have seen a distinct lean towards watching someone perform and handle a scenario, and then change the way that you've done. So even if it's very discreet, did you find that working with Michael or any other people?
Yeah, I think it can be. I'm getting better at it because it can be a downfall. Because sometimes you forget who you are in the process of trying to become somebody else.
That's right.
But I think it's a good. You need a good mix of knowing who you want to portray yourself as and who you are as a person, and then you just take the good aspects of people whose talents and abilities you look up to, like Michael, and you kind of observe. And he's like, "Nah, stop it."
I think to your point, we all, at least if we're starting something new, we kind of mimic what we like, right? What really resonates with us. But you're right, whether it's editing or directing or piano playing singer person or ventriloquist, I think that you don't want to rob yourself of what makes you the most you. Like a lot of people, particularly singers, think they have to be amusing and funny, but if their material is the most them and they're not doing that bad cabaret patter, then that stuff comes into its own very naturally. The other side to that is we only know what we know. So, if someone comes from a legitimate theater background or a cabaret background or a comedy club background, a lot of times, even though they're coming up with new concepts, the template and the undertone is kind of the same. So it's kind of cutting their nose off despite their face. So, the question is, of course, how do you grow within your, from a producer standpoint, whether it be your own stuff or somebody else's,
No, it's interesting. I think one of the greatest traits or skills that an entertainer can have is the ability to try something and know when it didn't work, and have the ability and the wherewithal to go back and change it so it doesn't happen again. And it's surprising how many people have difficulty in that.
They also, there's a lot of artists where it's a little, a lot of times performers, it's a vanity project where I have been called many times by representatives saying this person on my roster needs help, and I am put in touch with them, and they don't feel they need any help, or what they think the help is that they need is not the correct thing, in which I go back to their people. I'm like, he thinks he's fine, so I can't really help him, you know.
Yeah. When I'm working with people, especially younger people, but even established people, where it's a bit more difficult, if we're ever in a situation where we're asking to, does this work? Can this get better? The first thing I try to do is encourage them to watch a video of themselves and tell me what's wrong. Because it's amazing how much you learn when you have the guts to turn it around, watch yourself and go, ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good performer is the one that's the most critical, almost to detriment sometimes. But I mean, I'm the same way. Like, you know, I haven't really done the act since COVID began. But that's not to say I'm not, you know, trying new material and things like that. But I kind of needed a break. So a lot of people were like, oh, could you do write 2 minutes from? And I didn't want to write 2 minutes. I'm like, I'll do a customized video and issue you some footage or whatever, because that's just where my head is at right now. But, you know, I know that when it's time to go back, not just the new stuff, but the A material, I'm going to need a good week of workshopping to make sure my lip technique is right. I am acting well. I am separate from the character. The show flows. The technology that I am responsible for subliminally while I'm performing, is that all in? So yeah. I mean, and even when I was working full time, I mean, every 6 months show, I'd look at 6 months or so, I'd look at a video, I'd be like, oh, when did I start doing that? You know, that's very bad cabaret, or that's very bad ventriloquism, or that's very bad acting, or you know, it's slow or it's faster. You're saying a lot. You're getting too loose in your delivery, or too tight, where you're pushing through it too fast and the audience isn't following you. All that kind of stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a hard thing to watch.
Yeah, in TADTalk, the reason this is here, this laptop, is because the first editions of TADTalk looked like this. I was talking to the guest and finding out that I did everything with my hands, and so I put it there and leave it there.
Yeah.
But you have to watch it to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any more ventriloquistic words you've thought of?
I have a question.
Okay.
So, in the video that we saw at the beginning of this TAD Talk, we saw that bird. Well, what is the name of your bird?
The bird of prey is generally what we call him. He is Willie is his surname, but I find that with a lot of ventriloquists, not to go off on a tangent, they give you some random name and expect the audience to remember it like it's a big branding thing when it's not. So I believe in just the world's oldest gymnast, the bird of prey. People seem to recall that.
Yeah. Awesome. So the bird of prey, one of the funny things that I remember from that video is that it has a special ability, which is it poops. Yes. It poops out a little bird.
I think all birds have that ability, but yes. You're right.
So the question is, if you were to create a ventriloquist puppet dummy of yourself, what would your special ability be?
Ooh.
So existential. What would it be? Well, like I said, you know, I always wanted to sing, but I can't. I can, but no one's paying me to do it. What would it be? I think, you know what I always wanted to do? I don't know if in today's day and age you could do it, but this is not exactly the same thing, but there was a very famous magician in the magic world called the Great Thomsonian Company. He played the character of a Polish magician. And he was actually a fabulous magician, but it was that stereotype of not being very bright. And so I thought as a ventriloquist, it would be great to be, you know, direct from Warsaw's Got Talent, and then come out and, you know, when I talk, my lips don't move, but when the puppet talks, my lips move, or I take the glass of water for the song, but then I just pour it down the puppet's gullet where it's just drenched and drowning, and then I bow like I did something amazing. So maybe if that was me, something just to go against the whole ventriloquist thing.
Have you ever done that, Michael? Have you ever done the reverse where your lips are moving when the puppets and not
the audience? You know, I can and have done those ventriloquist tricks. Like I do a little bit of the echo voice and the distance thing, but to me, I think standing there and doing tricks is fine, but it doesn't replace funny material.
Yeah.
I did always want to do, and I started it, but I never finished it, where I bought a toupee, like a really tight toupee, and then I wanted to create like some sort of a squeeze thing where I wear it, and then somewhere in the middle of the show, it starts, like interrupting somehow. But I don't like puns, and I don't want to do any of that. So, it's kind of like a one-off gag thing, which means I'd have to sit there with that thing on my head for 45 minutes, which is a pain.
Yeah, no, but your act is brilliant and naturally funny too. This time on TADTalk goes like that. We do have one question we ask every guest, Michael. We'd love to ask you again right now. It is this: if you could spend the next 60 minutes with any two people, now this could be dead or alive, people you've known, family members, lost celebrities, historical figures, and you could take those two people and go anywhere in the world, who would you like to spend the next hour with? Where are you going to go, and what are you going to talk about?
I would like to meet Oprah and spend that time with her. Look, I know her level of fame and spirituality. She's probably nuts, but that's okay. I think she's earned it. And as long as Gail isn't there, I'm fine. I'd really like to have that one-on-one time with her based on where she came from. I think that would be great. I think, and I know everyone's going to say, oh, two liberals. I think Bill Clinton has always been very, very interesting. I know he's old and crotchety now, but I find him to be, in his heyday, he was a fascinating statesman, I think. And, if he didn't act like Bubba and get himself in so much trouble, he would have done so much more. I don't know. I think the Pope would be interesting. I'd like to talk to the Pope about how hard it is to, execute what Catholicism dictates, and also how do you connect to what's happening on the street? How do you do that? So I think those might be interesting people. No,
very interesting. I can just imagine Oprah, Bill Clinton, the Pope, and Michael Paul in a conversation. Where are you going for that conversation? Anywhere in the world?
Probably Applebee's.
Would you like a booth? No, we'd like a table, please.
Everyone wants a booth. I was a waiter. Everyone wants the booth. There's only 12 booths. There's one station open. It was a pain. I used to lie and I'd say, there's water damage over there. Sorry.
Where were you a waiter?
I was a waiter at a place, I think it was only the East Coast. It was called Bennigan's.
Okay, I remember that.
Very much like TGI Fridays. You came home smelling like, just fried food. And the clientele thought they were at the Waldorf Astoria. They were awful. And I was a host most of the time because you get to use that microphone, and just do I would make silly announcements. Although one day I did have to fill in as a waiter. And I refused. I didn't want to learn how everything was made. And I'm like, I'm your waiter, Michael. And the special today is the mahi-mahi. And they're like, could you tell us more about the fish? And I didn't know more about the fish. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Pepe was a good fish. And he was born off the coast of Guatemala. And he was excellent in school. And then the woman asked to see a manager. And I was made a host again.
Bennigan's has never been the same. When we first came here, Anne was a waitress at Sizzler in Granada Hills. That was a classy steakhouse.
Yeah.
And I sold organs at Organtown in West Covina Mall.
I'm sorry, you mean like gallbladders and hearts?
Yes, it was amazing. And I played them with my fingers. It was great.
Nice.
It was great. It's great having you on the show, Michael. Thanks so much for being on here again. I know that you're doing a bunch of stuff in this virtual world, and we definitely wish you all the best with that as it's going.
Thank you, and you.
Yeah, you have definitely had, in nearly 100 shows, the best background of everybody.
Because it doesn't look like I'm a hoarder or with screaming children and dogs.
Wonderful.
Wait. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
What I was going to give you was, speaking of which, I'll be right there, honey. Or, is it a boy or a girl?
Oh my God.
Nice. It's been awesome. Episode 95. We're flying through these. Have you had fun today?
I have, definitely. And as you can see on his background right now, you can @ Michael Paul Live. Also hashtag that and hashtag TADTalk to become part of our social wall. That's right. All of our past guests And I just saw a Michael Paul one pass by as well. So yes.
Yeah, we've got all our TAD Talk guests flying on our. You can tweet about it, hashtag TADTalk, and check us out every day. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much, Michael. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.